Hello. Have you ever thought about the way Monday mornings and Friday nights are actually success and failure? No? Let me explain. So let's say you spent your entire weekend because you know you got a great project that you've got to get together and you're going to present on Monday. You've got everything printed. You've got everything color-coded, tabbed. You've got notes in the margins. So you're ready. That means guaranteed success, right? But then we all know Tuesday through Thursday, Friday comes. And Friday is actually capping off your failure. Why? Well, you went to go and print, and it was busted. You bumped into your boss and spilt coffee on him, and you actually planned for the wrong project. What do? Go home, get under the covers, cry a lot, and you just go, wow, could this get any worse? And I know that we prefer one of those over another, but I'm here to tell you happily and unhappily, you're going to get both. You're going to get both in the week. If you're lucky, you'll have them both in the same day. If we, ladies and gentlemen, start to think about success and failure not as one better than the other, but equal parts of a path that we're going on, that takes away a lot of that sting of thinking we're not doing this thing right. You're always doing it right. You're doing it. So when we're looking at it, I feel like most of the times we start out on a learning lesson and we don't realize it's a lesson. Again, let me explain. I'm a teacher. When I was little, my dad taught me how to play checkers. And he said he found out more about me and who I was going to be as a person because I was a loser. Harsh, right, Gen X? But what happened was I lost 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Now I can count, and I could take it all the way up to 33, but it took 33 times. And I kept thinking, if I'm looking at this right, if I'm studying this right, I will get it. And it was that game that my dad taught me in his wisdom to show me that you're going to play and you're going to lose in games and in life. And once you understand that they're both coming, you're going to be fine. Now, on the 34th time, I won. I beat the man I had been defeated by 33 times. And guess what? I didn't know I won because I didn't know what success looked like. I had gotten so accustomed to losing, I just started setting those checkers up again because I just knew I had not beaten this man. And he went, wait a minute, you won. This is what it looks like. It's quiet sometimes. He said, you won. So have you ever had a win that you thought you lost, but when you go back and reflect on it, you actually won? And I would think that when you go back and look at all of the decisions that you've made and you thought you failed, it actually led you to a place better than you thought you were going to be in. That's my challenge to you, is for us to reframe what success looks like and what failure actually is. Have you ever thought that your failed relationships might actually be preparing you how to act in your next ones, how to be better in the next ones? Or have you ever thought, now bear with me, that your financial struggles and setbacks are actually the universe testing whether or not you were paying attention in math class or your patience? They are. And a lot of times I lost. I'm going to get to success. And it was that ability to absorb failure, kind of like a superpower and not be crushed by it, that built up my resilience, my mindset. Now, we're going to put that and we're going to sprinkle it with stubbornness because I refuse to lose. I refuse to end on a loss. And most of the times we quit a moment away from a breath of fresh air success. Two things. Failure's not final, but success is not static. They're equal. They're going to come to you. And you've got to start thinking, what is it that I'm doing that I could change and recalibrate? You're not a loser because you failed. You're a momentary winner because you won. And what do we get from the community of sharing when we share both of them? Because if I only shared when I'm successful, I'm only making connections 10% of the time. But if I share when I'm failing too, I have 100% connections. And to paraphrase Gretzky, you miss 100% of the connections you don't make. Have you ever thought going back to school might be a sign of temporary insanity? Well, I wanted to have my dad checked out when he said I was going back. Because the way my checkbook was set up, the way my bank account was not where it should be, and my schedule, no, I'm not going back to school. But after working and learning, I said, let me take what I've learned from the jobs that I had. I think I can apply it to be a teacher. I had a job as a carpet salesman that retaught me geometry in a way that you can't believe, because when you don't measure a job right and you order too much carpet, you're paying for that. Enough checks with money out from bad math will make you learn it. Also, I had a couple of jobs in the insurance companies taking calls about complaints of what we paid and what we didn't pay, and it helped me develop empathy. The people were calling had valid concerns, fear. They didn't understand something. Got empathy for them. I also got empathy for the people like me answering the phone, because you've got to be like, yes, ma'am, I understand. I'm so sorry. Let me get into this. Both equally valid, both wins and losses. So when my dad said, you're going back to school, aren't you? I said, yeah. And I enrolled and got my English degree from here, Columbia College. And I decided, yeah, I'm going to be a teacher. And my first year, 2004, I failed. I cried in class. They weren't getting it. And I said, but I'm doing everything right. I'm doing it exactly by the book, the way they told me. Guess what? It's not always by the book that they tell you. And when I got home, I said, Dad, I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to go back and be the carpet salesman. He was like, your checkbook, you're still not good at math. Maybe there's something you can go to be a better teacher. Came right back, and I enrolled to get my master's in divergent learning, which is teaching all kinds of kids in several methods. And you know what? Letting the kids know that I failed and I'm a better teacher, and if I'm not doing it right, please tell me, makes me a much more safer environment to make mistakes in, because I need a safe environment to make mistakes in. So then I learned how to get my teaching methods correct, and my dad looked at me. I see your brain is whirling. I was like, how do they write curriculum? How do they decide who gets to do what? He was like, well, that you'd need a doctorate of education for that. I was like, hey, checkbook, schedule, kids. He was like, you could do it. You did it before. And I was like, right, wait. Because I had just seen those as regular events. He was like, those were wins you didn't celebrate. You were a full-time working teacher, full-time mom, and you got 2 degrees already. This is a breeze. He lied. It wasn't. It was not. But it was something that if I said, let me go ahead and do this, I can. So I got my bachelor's, got my master's, got my doctor's in curriculum and instruction. Now I know how to write curriculum. I'm insane. I might go back to school. I don't know what for, but I might. So I want also to model for people and kids, learning is lifelong. And it's not just in the classroom, because when I went back for all those programs, my professors, my teachers at the schools that I was with, the working parents, the first generation students, we were a collection of successes and failures that built what we call a collective wisdom. And if you hadn't experienced the problem, somebody else probably did. Seek ye the collective wisdom. So, okay, I'm gonna be vulnerable with you guys. You seem safe. Have you ever thought that your failed eyelash application, your falsies, would lead to a better classroom environment where kids would trust you even more? Well, I did not. But I saw right when we came back from COVID that everybody's wearing false eyelashes. Now, I'm not one for makeup. This is a lot. And I said, well, I ought to be able to do this. I got a doctorate. Like, you glue it on. And so one day I got the glue, stuck it in there, went on to school, and it was great. First block. Oh, Doc, you look great. I wish you guys see you. You got your eyelashes. Great. Lunch came. I had duty. I was outside. Came back in. Doc, can I come to your desk? Yeah, sure. Yeah, come on up. Hey, did you realize that one of those is diagonally towards your eyebrow? I was like, no, it's not. Oh my God, it is. Did you wait for it to get tacky before you put it on? I was like, no. You glue it. You stick it on before it gets tacky. It gets tacky. No, ma'am, that's not what you do. I was like, oh. She said, now you can pretend that you're yelling at me and we'll step outside at the door and we'll fix this because right now you look crazy. I said, okay. Can I see you outside? Yes, ma'am. Can I bring my bag? Whatever. Get out there, fixed, walked back in. Those who were paying attention noticed that the correction had been made quietly, and I had failed and was helped by one of them. Second one, learn from the kids. I shared that right before we were getting ready to go for Christmas break. What are you going to do, Doc? I'm going to go home and play video games. What you playing? Call of Duty. What? You're 52. You're a grandma. I was like, hey, I was around when the games were invented. They were like, that doesn't make it better. And so well, what level are you on? I was like, what level are you on? 42, 28. What are you on, Doc? 1. What are you doing? Are you reading the map? How are you loading out? Are you paying attention to your surroundings? No, and no. So they emailed me things to practice with, and I went home and practiced over the break. And they were excited. I was excited. Got back. All right, where are you now? Y'all, I'm a solid 1. I'm still 1, but I'm enjoying playing because I enjoy playing sometimes even when I know I'm going to lose because it's the experience. So what I want you guys to take away from this is we can take painful experiences of college dropout, which I was, painful experiences of failing to learn how to balance home and school, failing to do well as a teacher in your first year and crying in front of the kids, which they said to do in the car, and a failure to accept that we are going to be successes and failures cyclically. And if we share when we're successful and we share when we are failing, that takes the stigma away from it, and it builds our collective community, our collective wisdom, and our collective space to grow and be nurtured. So go out, fail, learn from the fail, and be on your way to your win. I'm pulling for you. Thank you.